Welcome to the world of tabletop role-playing talk. I am here with Will, Tori, Paul, and today we are going to discuss what makes tabletop role-playing so great. From the adventures of D&D, the newest editions, such as Pathfinder, which in some cases can be better, to Call of Cthulhu if you're into your emo goth phase, to Shadowrun for those edgy meme lords who like to travel the metaverse. Alright guys, so this issue is obviously tabletop roleplay. For those who don't know, it's literally sitting around rolling dice and having a good time with your buddies. Tori, you're our special guest, so introduce yourself and tell us what system you play and why you love it, bro.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Hi, my name is Tori. I am a forever GM, and I've been playing tabletop RPGs for around 10 years. I've been a GM for most of those years. I started off in Pathfinder First Edition, but I went and played 3.5. I played a handful of other tabletop RPGs, such as Call of Cthulhu. I have played Mage Ascension from White Wolf. I've played in a couple of Vampire the Masquerade games.
Nice.
I haven't really got a chance to touch too many other systems, only just due to the simple fact that I'm the forever GM, and the forever GM only gets to run one game or two here and there. But yeah, I've been playing games for, like I said, 10 years, and I've been coming up with stories for far longer than that. And for those who are in here who know me, I'm an artist first, and a storyteller second. So I've been doing this since I was maybe 7 years old. No, sorry, 11 years old to be more precise. When I was in Fairbanks, Alaska, dark nights, start making you a little loopy, and you start thinking about just the outside world, and you watch a bunch of anime and play. But it wasn't until like much later that I got a chance to pretty much funnel all that creative energy into something that had a system, that could facilitate that, and definitely D&D and Pathfinder became my muse. I've done everything I could to facilitate, all my weird nerdy shenanigans through those systems. So yeah.
To be fair, everybody out there, I've known Tori since high school, and I can testify he is a phenomenal artist. I didn't really play tabletop with you that much in high school, but I remember us shooting the shit over art.
Yeah. Shit, I remember there was we were so weird about it too. Like we would do cringy stuff when we were in high school, obviously now, but all that weird cringy stuff that we did now becomes a foundation to how somebody lives their life or enjoys their media. So like I remember we had Anarcha, and then we had all these people like, if you had the superpower, which by the way,
I'll ask that question.
I don't want to use this platform to speak. One of our friends recently passed away. He was part of that little group that we just shoot the shit for stories. And I remember I played with Paul and one of the most legendary moments of our life as far as our tabletop RPG game comes because of this man right here, Paul. And I played maybe once or twice with you, Will.
Yeah, it was along with Paul, Thomas, Michael, and Big Mac.
Yeah. But you guys were like a part of the original crew back then. I kind of joined a little bit later. But yeah, we've been playing, and I know some of you for 10 plus years now.
Yeah, I've known you since high school. Yeah.
So
Wait, no, some of us are in our 30s, so yeah.
Easy. I'm pushing big 3-0 this year.
Yeah, me too.
Man.
Yeah,
me and Paul here already secured in our 30s.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Bug him. Do it.
Guys, we are going to share a link to Tori's page. He is a phenomenal storyteller. I will testify that I enjoyed his videos. But again, we're going to be talking about our experiences with D&D, why we play them, why we love them, and how we can suggest to you to possibly pick up some paper and dice. So, Paul, what is one of your most favorite moments in D&D or a tabletop role-playing game out there?
Damn, kind of put me on the spot.
It's my job.
Yeah, it's kind of what we do.
Yes. Like favorite moment or just
moment, character death, character creation, possibly not falling asleep and someone coming up on you.
no. Sneaks. Well, Sneaks was my first character with the Cobalt.
Sneaks.
Oh no, I remember Sneaks because Nick had the tiefling.
Oh my god, Nick was my introduction to Pathfinder.
Yeah, he was a lot of people's. I'm not even gonna lie. I will give him credit for this. If it wasn't for Nick trying to run Pathfinder, I wouldn't be the one playing Pathfinder and running Pathfinder.
You would have been a regular player,
really?
not a forever GM.
Yeah. So, what about you, Logan? Like, what is your most favorite character or memory from tabletop RPGs?
When I was in high school, I played with my other friends outside of you guys who got me into D&D. We were playing 3.5, led to 4.0. I was Grundar, the dwarf cleric.
Grundar, the dwarf cleric.
Which later led in him to being a brain-dead adventurer who only said Grundar as a twitch, which led into now my main NPC for all my games that all my players know and love.
Grundar.
You made a Pokemon.
Yeah, like I'll give you an example of Grundar. I was playing with my buddy. This was not a GM moment. I was a player, and my buddy Luengo, big jock of a dude you wouldn't take for D&D. He gets a inspiration. 5e just dropped, so we're playing 5e. And he says, I'm going to use Grundar as a weapon to hit the big black orc. And my character, I just said in character, I was like, Grundar? And he's just like, weapon! I was like, oh! And he nat 20 to use me. And I rolled a nat 20 to critically hit. We are in my tiny ass apartment. He is jumping up and down. This dude's like 6 foot tall, packing 200 pounds of muscle.
He was Grundar.
Yeah, and I had to take a Constitution saving throw, and I failed it to where Grundar was forever fucked up from that even more.
Did he throw you or use you like a bat?
He grabbed my feet.
Oh,
Nat 20, my ass. I rolled a nat 20 with the hammer to come down.
He came. He used him like a fish with a knife in his mouth.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh man,
Nice.
I was so scared because I was so low in health. I thought Grundar was dead for good in 5e, and nope, he survived. And oh my god, that's my favorite player moment of everything.
That's actually pretty good. What about you, Will? I know of a famous moment that I wasn't part of, but I know about you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it has to come down to Bear. I'm sorry, Bear.
I love Bear, dude.
Bear is my heart and soul. He was me personified in D&D. I'm big, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, but I'm smart. Exactly.
Okay.
And cuddly. Don't forget cuddly with Bear.
Oh man, I'm very cuddly. But
No.
my favorite moment with Bear is that me and a buddy of ours, Thomas, we would the beans. One of the moments is that while me and him are waiting for the party members to go out.
Yup.
Just
Here it comes.
Remember this story from you guys when you told me at school.
While everybody else is progressing the story of the campaign, me and him are literally playing Rochambeau. And whoever loses got smacked in the face. Now you have a werebear who does not like his human form, is either in his hybrid or in his bear form. I do what was it, like 2d8 plus 4 damage with my bare hands.
Smacking the shit out of each other.
I just see the big bear hand.
And you had Beans' character who had natural armor, who pretty much damage reduction. And we're going back and forth, just slapping the shit out of each other.
Oh man!
And just it was so stupid. And then
That
it was
You gotta
great.
swim. Trying to swim.
I remember the famous story told about you about how you went swimming in the lake
Oh,
with
oh,
your
Yeah.
oh,
plate
oh.
armor.
I mean, I'll do that one too. Like,
gosh.
like
I remember that one too from school when you told me like, dude, this happened. I was like,
so
What the fuck are you thinking?
That
again,
happened right after.
it literally, no, seriously, same day, everything, just right afterwards. We were like what at the desert, I think, Paul.
We were just trying to get across.
Yeah, we were trying to get across the desert, and we all see this river or lake or a body of water, and it's fucking bald and it's hot, dude. Like my character Bear is just sweating his bearish nut sacks just off.
Fuzzy dice.
It's fuzzy dice, yeah. So we all go. We all see this body of water. We look to each other. And we're like, okay, this is not a mirage, right? No. Okay, cool. I shit you not. Paul can attest. Looked up at everybody and I just go, out of game. I'm sorry. I have to do this.
He's not lying.
They go, what do you mean? I
What?
look at our DM and I go, so Bear does a full sprint towards this body of water. My sprint speed's what, 30 feet per thing or whatever. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
But I just jump right in, and I'm sinking with full plate anthropomorphic armor that ships to my body, and I just dive right the fuck in. And
All his shit on.
with all my shit on. I'm sitting there sinking, drowning, while they have to have. I think Paul, it was you who had to come in and save me because you had the highest acrobat check.
Yeah.
He had to.
In the rope.
Yeah. They had to come and save my ass, pull me out of my armor. I lost all my shit.
You were so mad the next day at school.
Oh no.
right?
I did that shit on purpose. I was like, I had to do it. It's Bear. I'm big, tough, and stupid.
Oh man, and and I think that speaks volumes, honestly, about the power of just like some people like their games real nice and like story driven, and some people just love to do things that they normally would never do in real life.
Oh yeah.
You know, in game, you know.
And then I remember one story, and it's about Nick's character, his little. Fuck, what was he playing, Paul? Is where he rolled to spat. That's all I'm gonna say. You should remember what this is.
Man, you know how long that ago was?
He rolled to spat on his Peter.
Oh my gosh.
I can't after this now.
I
That's
I think I remember what you're talking about.
it was the
Nick.
same. It was Nick, and it was the same campaign as where we were getting Beans' holy shovel.
I'm done.
No, Beans wanted this holy shovel made out of silver.
No. He wanted a holy shovel made out of a tree that was made out of a divine tree that we were going to go get. The same campaign with Bear in it.
I don't remember.
Well, you know.
But to go back what Tori said, like, yeah, our campaign was just full of serious people, but we had our nutty moments, and it was fantastic.
You
Yeah,
really
it was
even
chaos.
play if you don't have nutty moments, though.
It's true.
no.
Go ahead, man. What were you gonna say?
Oh no! You go ahead. I was just agreeing with you.
All right, so Tori, I have a question since you're a forever GM and I've been in that boat many a times. Have you ever made a player cry by accident?
No. Okay, but okay. So I know exactly how you mean that question.
Yeah, where you're not intentionally doing it. You're just
Yeah,
It happens.
but you know it happens. But it in like either like not even like a mouse way, but it just made him be like holy shit. So I'm gonna answer this in the quick way and also like a long way. The quick way is I made a very emotional moment that almost had me crying.
No!
Oh, wait.
But
What?
it was a really good moment that like it will forever live in my memory. Like whenever I talk about like, holy shit, this is like the epitome of like my own like I'm a pretty decent GM. It's that story right there, and I don't want to hold you guys up to it, but I know that there's been a couple times before as well, like our other players, and Kirk, one of my players, especially here at Mass Damage, he he can get down into those emotions, like feel into the character. I can kind of do that, and this is no knock on Kirk, but like Kirk, my player, he GM'd after me, so he has a lot of my same tells that I have. So it always feels really good to play under him because it's like, oh, finally I get to play my own game, kind of, because
I get to
you know,
live the moment.
yeah, and this moment,
I can be
and
free. Fucking
and-
finally.
for real. And actually, this is 100% a segue back into our original question. Our favorite character, my favorite character, and the most infamous character, not infamous, but pretty well known in our group of friends, is my character that I played in Kirk's game, named Gaharin. I'm not gonna go into it, but basically Gaharin was just guts. That's just who he was.
Oh,
Fucking guts.
He was guts with who had
Without the
leprosy.
tragic backstories?
Yeah, I mean, no, he had the tragic backstory, but not like the whole guts backstory.
Oh, shit.
but
that's a
okay.
fucked up
yeah,
character.
Yeah,
exactly.
no.
He had leprosy, so he wore a helmet so nobody could see his face, and he believed in the war god, and the war god espoused that no one should be shackled and should be fighting for the right to whatever. And Kirk had this awesome campaign that facilitated. Unfortunately, had to kill the town guards, and and one thing led to
Jeez.
another, and Mark, one of my other players in my games, Markham, he had a character who created a fucking this is I could talk about tabletop RPGs all the time.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of cool things you cannot experience in any other medium because of just the nature of them, because you are a passive writer in the actual thing, like you go to the movies, you watch and you feel something, but to be part of that, to be able to tweak something, that the dice may roll, or you may say the words that may change and alter the story, on a different scale. Yeah, it's like holy shit. And I think that's again, I'm sorry if I'm talking for too long.
No, dude, you're
Dude,
fine.
you're fine.
Talk,
You're
man.
good. You're good.
One of the things that I think a lot of people don't get until you kind of mature whenever you start playing games, and I'm kind of bad, and this is gonna fall into some GM advice kind of thing. Whenever you start playing D&D, you are always, especially nowadays, how people get introduced is kind of like, oh, either you see a live play like Critical Role happen, right? You're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
My expectations are high.
because be on high, which is fucking great. Like I no thing, but holy hell. And then, or you get into a game and you see this, like you get introduced to other mediums such as Stranger Things, and be like, oh, what are the game? What are they playing? Blah 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 blah, right? The
Love
thing
that
is, right? The thing is about it is that like, you see them play it, and you see them playing a very tactical game,
Yeah.
One of the things that you don't really get to enjoy is like, the first time you start playing D&D, you're always gonna do goofy shit.
Yep.
You're always gonna do goofy shit, and you should expect to do goofy shit. Ain't that right, Paul?
Oh yeah.
Carl, yes.
Oh yeah, you should. And as a GM, you think you're gonna be the Matt Mercer, or
No.
No,
Brandon
it's
Lee
your
Molly,
players.
or anybody. and this is where I think a lot of D&D horror stories come into play too. Like your first, even when you have players who you've been playing for 10 years, or more, they will always pick every first session with goofiness because they're trying to, nothing's gelling, nothing's, is
Fun. You want to be
yeah,
relaxed.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. You haven't got enough time, and then whenever you start going like, okay, gonna do this, gonna just roll some dice. I'm trying to test out my character, see what's up. Once the novelty of all that goes out the window, like not goes out the way, just passes by, then you start getting into what really, in my opinion, makes tabletop RPG games so amazing. Like besides just the die roll and fate, you start getting into role playing that just like, oh, your character's from this one area now. Okay, how is this going to affect me? Obviously, I already know I can beat you in a fight or whatever, but it's like, how are we going to keep this story going? Because now we've been playing for 16 sessions. I don't want this to end, and I want this character's arc to come to a natural conclusion. Obviously, not everybody plays like that, but I think that's one of the big determiners of just like, can you get past the initial goofy phase of playing, tabletop RPGs to then get into the real, what I believe is the real meat and potatoes of it. Obviously, you can min-max to all hell and have fun with it, which is how people should play if they want to, but the storytelling aspect for me is just like chef kiss.
All right. Well, that's good. We'll go off of that real quick, Tori. Logan, what's your favorite thing off of the to do in any tabletop game?
As a forever GM, I like to share the bonding experience with people. To give you an example, when I was in Montana, I used to have 12 players at a table. And these were guys who were kind of like not jocks. Some were jocks, some were nerdy, some were outcasts. But we grew almost like a brotherhood over characters goofing up. And that's where, as a GM, you have to be flexible and understand if you're playing with newbies, you should make it as fun as possible. And I would, because when 5e came out, they had inspiration. And I would throw in nerdy references and other kind of references. I said, if you got it, I would give you the inspiration for the session. I also enjoyed the interaction aspect because, like, sometimes playing video games wasn't enough, or just going to the bar was enough. That to me is what made D&D so much fun. Storytelling's great because when we would get done with the session, I had sticky notes. I would write cliff notes of the characters that were playing and ask them, "Hey, I'm writing this. What do you think? Does this feel more to you?" And I would get, I had one guy who had no real life in Montana. He didn't really have much friends, and he said, "I actually enjoy this. It makes me happy," because I didn't know his background. And then going from there, I still have that same feeling now playing with my guys here. It's not to sound emotional. It was just I love playing. I love playing D&D, Call of Cthulhu, Shadowrun, everything, just to be with my buddies. It's so much fun. But the only time I felt bad was back to the question with Tori, like, did you make a player cry? I felt like the biggest dickhead. Sabrina, I won't say her last name, but I'm going to share this episode with her. We were doing a Christmas one-shot with Krampus, who was killing and stealing children.
As you should.
Her character lost her children, and she said, "I don't care what you do with my kids. I'm going to role play." I was like, "All right, cool." And she failed her Constitution saving throw. I said, "In the mist, you see a shadowy figure with a large, what looks to be a bag of tail. As it gets closer, you hear, 'Why, mommy?'" Like, I did this a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah, obviously in the moment. Yeah.
As I was like writing down the notes, someone texted me saying, "Hey, you made Sabrina's crying." I looked up, like, fuck. I felt like the biggest douche because I just sold the moment. I had a reference real quick. She failed her Constitution saving throw. She rolled a 2 when she was supposed to be on watch, so I had to sell it. I did not live that down for the rest of the time in Turkey. I got that brought up so much.
As you should. I mean that.
Yeah. Good job. Like, well, fuck.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those things where it's just like that happened in somebody's mind. Like their version of that is probably like 16 billion times more horrific than whatever you were gonna come up with, But yeah,
like the biggest douche on earth. But
yeah.
How many times can you say you made a player cry? And I hate to own it, but I'm like, once.
One time. Yeah.
I did have a player break the table though by accident.
Oh, I was about to say, we're throwing hands. What the fuck is? Okay.
Yeah, his character was betrayed by a character at the table, and he was in real life he is a half-orc barbarian, and in the game he was a half-orc barbarian. Somebody betrayed him and almost killed him, and he got up, like, grabbed the table and almost flipped it, and we were like, whoa, chill. Jeez, man, like, we ain't got much for here, so just fucking chill out. And he almost threw hands the person that betrayed him. I was like, God fucking damn it.
but it's gonna live in their memory. It's gonna be
Oh,
a
yeah.
good
It
memory
was-
for
It's a core memory for me right there.
it.
Well,
The best. Oh yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Go ahead. Oh, you're good. Go ahead. God.
Well, same question goes to you, bud. What's up?
Me?
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
what's
Paul.
your what's
Yeah, man. Speak up, bro. You're the
Oh.
player here.
yeah
It's
what's,
because
what's
because I ain't hear him say my name.
oh,
Favorite
yeah.
memory.
No, not your favorite memory. What's your favorite aspect of tabletop gaming? For,
Oh, aspect.
for Logan, it was the bonding. For Tori, it was
Yeah.
the RPG aspect of it. What's yours?
Like I said, he's mixing earlier a little bit of goofiness, but just getting lost into it, just having fun, escaping. You know,
So if I may,
Like-
because I have GM'd for almost everybody here. So Paul and another player of mine, two other players of mine, Beans, Tomas,
Yeah.
Paul, and Akono are
God,
what
Akono.
I call my chaos dice, because anytime they are playing, they will always do the most random chaotic shit.
get in
They
there,
could-
Tony.
and it's like, it's not even like the most random chaotic shit just to be an asshole or anything like that, but just like completely diverse the story, and it changes it for the better. Like, I know some people hate it when people just go outside the bounds. Paul has this fucking knack of finding the perfect beat to fuck everything you had in place. To be like, oh, okay, so you're gonna do that? Oh, okay, gotcha.
shit.
Really?
this okay, fuck it, and then he'll roll for it, and then be like, oh, nat 20, okay, all right.
I hate
Well,
that
fuck me.
phrase from every player. Nat 20, and they have to like force the GM to see it, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
but it's a sign of a good player.
Oh yeah.
Charles,
I
we're
love
gonna read that
when my
way.
players get passionate over a nat 20. It makes me feel like when I would used to roll and get a nat 20
Yeah, right.
as I,
I
sit
hate
behind my couch.
I hate rolling nat 20s or like a crit die in any game as a GM, because I know I'm gonna ruin somebody's day. Like,
Oh no,
somebody.
that's the thing. I love to roll against Big Mac, and he would hate it every time. He would try to fuck us over. I'm like, nah.
Nat 20.
Yeah, 20.
Oh man.
He's
Because
like, no,
like,
let me
look at
watch.
all these
Let me
20s.
watch. Let me watch you roll this 20.
Yo, for real, I have to be
Motherfucker,
that
roll this
way.
20.
Tori, I know you can testify. It's when you have the big baddie, and you're watching your player like a hawk, either from the DM screen or behind them, breathing down their neck. Yeah, roll that fucking dice and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that energy still flows. I love it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I have to sometimes take off the kid gloves, and when I do, it's like, because everybody knows me as the RP game
Trash.
master. Like, it's like, oh, Tori's,
The
he
lich.
just wants a good story, and then I'm just like, all right, now I'm going to use mechanics 100%, and they're like, no, stop using mechanics, and I'm just like, but this is the actual fight. So
Yeah. I'm not gonna sugarcoat a fight, guys. As a GM, sorry.
yeah, like
Yeah,
especially boss fights. Oh man, like I'm like, oh.
Can you see around that tree? Are you sure about that?
Are you
This ain't
sure you
one
want to do
again.
that?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I've definitely done that. Are you sure? I actually have recordings of some of the games where I did that. But I have a question, and we're kind of strapped for time. And I don't want to hold everybody up if you're
Yeah.
gonna go. But as a longtime player or GM, besides just what it means to you, how are you currently feeling about the state of tabletop RPGs as it is right now? Are you currently, like, is D&D still your kingpin? Are you still wanting to, or are you wanting to explore other games besides like some of the ancillary core ones, such as Pathfinder, Starfinder, or like Shadowrun or Call of Cthulhu? Like, have you thought about any other games, and precisely, and if you have thought about any other games, what are they?
That's so tough because I feel like I've dabbled when I was in Montana. So I've played D&D, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, Shadowrun, the Star Wars RPGs, which were my least favorite just because of the dice system. I did play Starfinder a little bit where we had a one-shot based on Futurama, which I thought was perfectly fun. I tried Frostgrave at one point. That didn't float my boat.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
I liked it. It was pleasing. I just couldn't get into it as a player, and at the time I was more hopped up on D&D. I will live by this rule, and I think every GM should live by this rule at some point. They're like, try everything, but don't hate everything.
True. Very, very much true. Yeah.
So, because once
So,
you try everything, you can steal from everything.
But what games are you like in your radar right now that you might be thinking about playing?
That's so tough because I took a break from D&D with packing up to move back to Florida.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping when I'm back to Florida with you and Will, and then eventually Paul comes down. I would say I would like to give Shadowrun a try again, just because I love the sci-fi punk.
Mm.
That's probably my biggest on my radar. But as always, true and through, probably D&D. I'm always gonna keep playing, and then I would like to get back into Pathfinder and give you a break, hopefully, to play some RPG games, because I know that struggle bus of GMing, dude.
Yeah,
so
it's okay.
I want to give you that break.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward for you coming down here. But what about you, Will? What games have you?
For me, honestly, I've just been reintroduced and back into playing D&D because honestly, I've gone out of it because I've gone onto the PC gaming aspect of my life.
Yeah.
All that jazz. I mean, Monster Hunter's been kicking my ass because I'm back on my bullshit on that. And all of that fun with Monster Hunter Rise.
I'm not hopping on that game with you, dude.
But I mean, I had a couple days ago. I was talking to Logan because we were going to make a new character for me, and his name is Ferris.
Manus?
No,
Sorry.
I see what you did there.
Killer.
But no, his name is Ferris, and he is a fairy were-ferret.
I see. I see.
Mouthful. Trying to say that off like seashells by the seashore.
A
Yeah,
fairy
that's-
were-ferret.
That sounds fun. That sounds
So
real fun.
We had a lot of fun discussing that, Will. I told my wife about it, and I think she looked at me confused of fairy were-ferret.
like they don't have a ferret class, like a ferret race or anything, but they have a rat. Well, a ferret's kind of close to a rat, so you have to bum off of that just a little bit, get some ideas, try to make it more balanced and whatnot. I mean, I'm doing a subclass of a fairy. Let me pull it up real quick so I can. That's the Moon Shadow Fairy, right? They have a thing called where you can harvest dreams. So while your party members are asleep, you can harvest their dreams to have an advantage on your next encounter.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's
Dangerous. That's dangerous.
That's
That's some
pretty
nightmare shit.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, guess what? I'm gonna take this vial of your dreams and I want to use it against people we come across. So have fun. But I mean, it was just honestly, it was making Ferris in my head that brought me back into D&D, and I want to play it again. I want to play Pathfinder. I wanted Shadowrun. Fuck, that's the first time I've ever heard of it. Cool, what's it about? I want to learn. So I mean, it could take one day, be like, oh, I'm done with it. I'm done with it for the rest of my life. But then you're gonna have that one instant like, nah. I'm gonna fucking play again. Let's go.
That hiatus needs to come to an end.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It ain't
Real
shit up
quick-
in Iowa.
Yo, we're gonna get your ass back to Florida. Don't worry, man. Will, what's the time check, by the way?
I know we said we were going to do like a 15-minute one.
Yeah, I know. I kept looking at the time. Like, is that right?
Yeah.
But we kind of almost hit in 35 minutes, which honestly, it's perfectly fine by my aspect. I have a cat bugging up my ass currently.
All right. So, guys,
Any final? Go ahead. No, any final questions?
yeah. If there is no final questions, I think we're at a wrap. Guys, again, thank you, Tori, for coming out and being on the episode with us. And
We'll be back.
Yep, we'll be back. We took a little break. It's been hectic, guys. We apologize, but we will be back. And as always, remember to like, subscribe, share, and also give Tori's YouTube channel a look at. I will kid you not, he is a phenomenal DM, and we're gonna definitely go over some more stuff for future
Steven
stuff.
Art.
Yeah. Tori, if you're okay with it, future episode for you and I, GM, some quick tips, if you're okay with that for beginners out there.
Yeah, by all means. By all means.
Sweet. All right, guys. That's wrapping it up with the Nerd-A-Geddon crew and Tori. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend, and always be positive.
Peace.
Stay frosty, my friends.